So there have been articles coming out that the chief strategist appointed by Donald Trump who's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. There are lots of articles say Steve Bannon allegedly quote muse just property owners should vote. Now so we can always debate whether Trump's campaign is racist, and some people think that they're the interpreters of what he said during his campaign. Other people think that they're the interpreters of what he said during his campaign. It can be debated, whatever. But I think that this appointment that he has made actually shows what his campaign is quite about. Steve Bannon has had a very bad history with racism. He's from Breitbart, the right wing think tank, and I've seen many people actually give him the credit for making it such a right wing think tank. But, anyways, I got some quotes here for you from, I believe it's the NY Times. So, quote, Ms. Jones, the film colleague, said that in their years working together, Mr. Bannon occasionally talked about the genetic superiority of some people and once mused about the desirability of limiting the vote to property owners. He goes on, quote, I said, that would exclude a lot of African Americans, Ms. Jones recalled. He said, maybe that's not such a bad thing. I said, but what about Wendy, referring to Mr. Bannon's executive assistant. Quote, he said, she's different. She's family. Okay, so this is very interesting. So it shows that really he does have the roots of wanting to whitewash, and obviously, he doesn't really care about minorities. Now, people say, oh, he gives jobs to minorities, whatever, that type of stuff. Just because they give them jobs doesn't mean that they're supporting them. They could be treated very poorly. And there are those few people who end up making it into his group, in this case, who's Wendy, executive assistant. But they are actually corrupted by that person and therefore become part of that group and just kind of abandon all the other minorities. And it's kind of sad to see. But the point here is this guy is a horrible, horrible pick. And he is just absolutely terrible when it comes to the issue of racism and equality and all of this stuff. And regardless of the fact that it would disenfranchise so many African Americans, he doesn't care, because in his mind, they shouldn't be able to vote, because then, less African Americans voting, I mean, the more right wing people can win. So, yeah, he's a pretty fucked up guy, let's put it that way.